Good morning. It is just before 7 and the goal is to finally do a legitimate trail mile, 20-mile day. I think I've done 20 miles of walking several times before with off-trail walking, but never have officially done 20 trail miles in one day. So today's a good day for it because we're actually a little bit behind. When we were scheduling our food, we planned for like 4.5 days and kind of planned it out for like averaging 17, 18 miles each day. And the first 2 days we did 14 and then 17 and a half trail miles. So we're a little behind. So I'm hoping with the 20 we'll catch up. We were looking at it and basically to make it with the food we have to do 3 18-mile days in a row. So if I do it 20, that gives me a little bit more wiggle room for the other days. Plus, I'd love to get to hiker heaven more at a reasonable hour rather than later in the day. So I'd love to do less than 18 miles that last day. Yeah, that's the goal. 20 miles. I'm setting off quite a bit before everyone else, so I think that gives me some leniency to take some extra breaks, although I do think that they will catch me and be faster than me a lot more today because the terrain is a lot less steep, and in my opinion that benefits people with longer legs. When it was super steep, I think we were all kind of the same speed. After lunch it took some of the guys like 8 miles before they caught up with me, which is unheard of. But today, like, it's such easy terrain that my little short legs aren't going to be able to keep up in the same way, but that's okay. As far as the terrain today, the first like 6 miles looks super easy, mostly flat. Actually, well, I mean, it's like downhill and uphill, but like it looks really flat on the elevation profile. And then it's about 7 miles of ascent, but it's only like 1,500, 2,000 feet up over 7 miles. So that shouldn't be too bad either. And then the next 7 miles are all descending the same amount. So I'm anticipating today to be a lot easier than the last 2 days. The trail is so cruisy. I love it. The last 2 days were really hard, so it's so nice to just walk and like not be gasping for breath, not have my muscles screaming at me, not have my feet complaining, just walking. It's amazing. So I've been thinking about it, and I think that even if my group doesn't want to do 20 miles, I'm going to do 20 miles no matter what, even if it means camping alone. Because I really do want to get into hiker heaven earlier in the day rather than later in the day, and then that way I don't need to zero there. I know at least 2 other people are on board for 20 miles, but you know, sometimes like the group think can like shift drastically from like just one comment and everyone immediately changes their mind kind of thing. So I think today I'm going to be stubborn and I'm going to do 20 miles no matter what. If I feel good, maybe even 22 miles, who knows. But I will see them in hiker heaven regardless, and if I do more miles I'll get more time there, and if they do less miles they just get a little less time there. So I guess I'm willing to branch out a little bit today. It smells really strong like fire all of a sudden, like not just campfire. And I think I remember from yesterday some like day hikers mentioning something about controlled burns in the area. Suffice to say, I am not a happy camper about it because I have asthma and it's specifically triggered by air pollutants. Oh, I can see it actually. Anyways, asthma is going to be a little rough today, which is not great when hiking. And I did not bring my inhaler because I was going to carry it when fires were a problem in the Sierras and farther. You can kind of see it right there. It doesn't really show up as well. Like for me, everything is hazy. You can kind of see it. It's way more in real life. I don't think this is doing anything, but any little particles I can filter out is better than nothing. I am already coughing. I hope I can get out of this area as fast as possible. I always knew this was a concern of mine for hiking the PCT because fires are such a big thing, and I am very sensitive to particles in the air. Like, that's my main trigger. But I was just gonna deal with it, and I have like a mask and an inhaler and all that kind of stuff already set by and ready to go for the Sierras in Northern California and all that. But I was just trying to save as much weight as possible for the desert because of the water carries, that I really skimped on some things that I didn't think I was gonna need. For instance, that. So I'll try my best, and I guess if I cough a bunch, it's not the end of the world. I'm not gonna like asphyxiate. Okay, I survived. Got far enough away from it. I'm still coughing a little bit. I can still feel my lungs burning a little bit, so a little bit of damage is done, but nothing horrible. And I've definitely survived through much worse, even just living in my hometown in California. So I can never pass up a good table and an opportunity to get rid of my trash for breakfast, even though I've only gone 2.5 miles so far. This bench or picnic table is made for tall people. I'm like dangling by like a foot. Feel like a kid. Man, so I sat there for like 15 to 20 minutes eating my granola, and not one of my friends showed up. So I must have left way before them. I usually am the first one out, but generally people leave just a bit after me, but I guess I'm out really early. But I'm fine with it. I'm fine hiking by myself, and gives me more permission to take lots of breaks if I want to, because I won't feel like I'm falling behind ever. And I don't know, I prefer to get to camp earlier, not like rolling in at 7, so yeah. Okay, the video can't show the scale. This is the biggest squirrel that I've ever seen. It is the size of a small cat. It is huge. It scared me at first because I was like, what's that big thing? Oh, it's a squirrel. My pack is creaking again. How do you stop that? If you know how, write a comment. It's driving me crazy. Getting weird songs stuck in your head for miles and miles is not language specific. Today, I have German children's songs stuck in my head. Specifically, Im Wald da saß ein Kuckuck, simsalabim-bam-basadusad. Im Wald da saß ein Kuckuck dort. Da kam ein junger Jäger, simsalabim-bam-basadusad. Da kam ein junger Jägersmann. Er schoss den armen Kuckuck, simsalabim-bam-basadusad. Er schoss den armen Kuckuck tot. Doch als ein Jahr vergangen, simsalabim-bam-basadusad, doch als ein Jahr vergangen war, da kam der Kuckuck wieder, simsalabim-bam-basadusad, da war der Kuckuck wieder da. Over and over again, 4 miles. I hope it'll let me get close. There's a beautiful butterfly. I think my camera's having a hard time focusing on it though. Hi, pretty thing. I think it's focusing on the rock. Gosh dang it, come on. Look how pretty it is. It's amazing how many seasonal streams are still running this late. It's in June now. This is one of those like not reliable water sources that is still running totally nicely, and this is a beautiful spot, so I'm going to take a it's pretty break. What on earth? There's 2 trails, both Pacific Crest Trail. One is okay for horses. I guess one is not okay for horses, so I'm guessing that this one is steeper or more brush, but maybe this one is longer. I don't know. I guess I'll take the hopefully shorter one. I don't know. Looks like the equestrian route has some paved trail, so I'm glad I didn't take that. Honestly, this isn't that different from most of the trails, so I feel like horses either can do this or they can't do the regular trail. Alright, I've officially finished the 6 super easy miles. Now the next 5 miles are going to be going up, and then it mellows out again and kind of goes up and down and stuff. So easiest miles done, probably the hardest miles now, although they're still going to be easier than yesterday, and still haven't seen anybody, so I don't know, they might have left way later than me. There's a small part of me that's like, oh no, what if the trail angels woke up and made them breakfast? Which I doubt. I think that they would be sleeping in for a while. But anyways, I'm just gonna keep hiking. Lots of warnings posted about loose rocks, flash floods. I think we're okay. And portions of the trail being damaged. And there's another one that says, snag hazard. Trees along this trail may have been weakened from fire damage and may fall at any time. That's a little bit more concerning. But honestly, what I'm most concerned about is there are some warning signs about poodle dog bush being on the trail, and I'm still not 100% sure what they look like. Like, I've seen pictures, but don't know that I've for sure recognized it for myself. Apparently, it only starts for real in about 3 or 4 miles. But my policy right now is, if it's a plant, don't touch it. Now this is the PCT that I know and love, that actually switchbacks and goes gradually instead of going straight up the mountain like some of these portions in the last 2 days. I think the PCT probably just used pre-existing hiking trails previously, and that's why they were kind of way steeper than normal. But we're back to nicely graded. It's pretty warm today. I think it's probably already high 70s. Probably gonna get into the mid 80s is my guess. I'm definitely drinking a lot more water than I generally do. So I'm definitely on rattlesnake lookout and poodle dog bush lookout today. I don't want to take any long breaks until I've done at least 10 miles to make sure I have enough time to do 20 miles today. But I am hoping to do like an extended lunch break because it's so warm, and like, it's ironic because right now I'm in the shade, but in general I'm walking not in the shade and it's pretty hot. And I'm gonna want to find a nice shaded area for lunch. Okay, I think this is poodle dog bush, which makes me happy. So that means I've definitely not seen it before on trail before now. And yeah, the leaves are, there's other plants that I kept thinking were poodle dog bush, but you can tell that these are like more hairy. I can't really smell them that well. You're supposed to be able to smell them really strong, but I'm pretty sure this is it. And I'm not gonna touch it. And there's a dead. Okay, this trail is super overgrown. Not by poodle dog bush, luckily. But it's hard to go through and kind of makes me scared of hidden rattlesnakes. I wonder if dead poodle dog bush also still makes you have a huge reaction or not. I mean, I'm not going to touch it just in case, but I'm very curious. Just got water at the spring, and now I think I'm within half a mile of where we're going to be stopping for lunch. I already ate a little bit because I couldn't handle it anymore, but happy to sit down for a while. We've already done like 11 miles, so only 9 more to go. I'm still feeling really, really good. One nice thing about this section since Wrightwood is there's been a lot of water. Like, I think the longest stretches have been like 10 miles, so pretty much always have 1 or 2 liters, and I haven't carried more than that, so that's really nice. Okay, I'm a tiny bit grumpy because I thought we had agreed on a certain campsite for lunch, but nobody was there. So I guess I'll keep walking, but I'm only willing to walk a little bit farther. So if I don't see them soon, I'm gonna have my own lunch. So it's actually sprinkling a bit because, you know, it's June and it's in the desert. What else would happen here? Got a little cold, so I put on my jacket. It's like not really raining hard enough to justify a pack cover or even a rain jacket. It's mostly just because my arms are a little cold. But yeah, welcome to the desert in 2019. And now it's hailing. Of course it is. Still sprinkling, but happening persistently enough that the pack cover is now on. Have I mentioned that the weather forecast said nothing of any of this rain? It's real right now. I mean, I don't think it'll last long, but still, this is a little ridiculous. I'll take it over warm weather, okay? Yeah, I prefer this over hot weather, but it's still weird. And I want the snow in the Sierras to melt already, and this is not helping. Man, I don't know how well you can see the details on the camera. It almost makes me think it looks like a mushroom cloud. Like, do I need to be trying to check the news or something? It's just this like epic cumulonimbus cloud that goes up forever. I mean, I'm assuming it's a cumulonimbus cloud. It's so big. I don't even know what to think of it. It's amazing. You can see the next like 2 miles of trail. It's like that ridge on the side, which means I can see everyone in front of me. You probably can't because it's too small, but maybe right there you can see the red pack. Beautiful. Love the green and red. Christmas colors. There's the firehouse, and there's a pit toilet and trash cans that I am going to be checking out. It's like, I think either 2 or 3 miles before our campsite. I think it's either mile 17 or 18 for the day. Feet were pain-free for like 15 miles, but are definitely tired now, so I'm appreciating the break that's about to come. Apparently you can also order pizza at this like parking lot area, but I've learned my lesson. I do not feel like doing that. Number one, just for the wait, it takes so long for it to actually happen. Number two, obviously how much I overate, but after today, there's like only 1.5 days left until I reach hiker heaven. It's 1 full day of hiking, and then however many miles I have left. It could be up to like 14, 16 miles, or it could be less. It depends how many miles I do tomorrow. Alright, I just filled up with water, filled up a little bit extra. I have 3 liters for dry camping, even though I'm doubtful that we'll do more, that I'll drink more than like 2 by the time I get to the next water source, but better safe than sorry, and it lets me cook and stuff. I filled up, we hung out for a while, and then I took off first. Probably Creator and Fast Track will catch up to me, but there is some benefit in leaving a bit before everyone else, because I think there's enough campsites for all of us, but I think there's just barely enough campsites for all of us. So if I get there first, I can get a nicer one. But yeah, it's just 2.4 miles, and then we'll have done like 20.3 or something like that. Wow. In walking 0.2 miles, I already have to pee again. Good thing there's an upper and a lower bathroom dash parking area, so I can just go to this really fast. There's all of these wooden posts next to the trail, and I have no idea why. They are definitely posts. They're not like trees that are burnt down, like they are posts. I don't know why they're here. It is really, really hot, and I'm going fast. I can't remember, I don't think there's been a time that I've sweat this much while hiking. But the good news is, I'm making great time, and nobody's passed me yet. Only have about a mile left. They probably still will pass me, but I have a secret goal to make it without them passing me. Fast, which means I get first dibs, which means I get the flat one with the view.
Yeah.